Hello and welcome to the Mbrl Racing League livestream. We're here today for round 18 of 19 of season 6 of the Mbrl Racing League Championship. And it is a non-sprint round. So we're starting off with the 80-minute qualifying session. No cars leaving the pit lane yet, they're just getting their setups on. And then it's a 25-lap feature race. Feature race only, no sprint race. And we have 13 drivers competing today. No reserve drivers, although we have Chuck Norris in the Alpine today. He's making his debut in the Mbrl Racing League, so let's see how he does. Top 13 score in the Mbrl Racing League, so if all these drivers reach the checkered flag at the end of lap 25, they'll all be scoring points. And also, the top, I think the top 4 in the championship, or at least the top 6 drivers in the championship, they're all competing today, so lots of points to play for. Realistically, there's only 2 drivers still in contention for the championship. That's Sebastian and Real There you can see the Williams driver leaving the pit lane now. See Verdugo on the Haas there. He has a consistent season so far, and that's as a result he's now in 10th place on 77 points. The other Haas driver, his teammate Simple, is on 146 points. Battle for 5th place in the championship is extremely close. This going is on board now. Yeah, so it's Enzo in 5th place, 152 points. 1 point behind him is Race Chase, who is 1 point ahead of Skid Solo, who is 4 points ahead of Simple. So that order could completely change by the end of this round, even without a sprint race. So yeah, a few drivers out on track now. And then ahead of those guys in the championship, Darell in 4th place, 183 points. Andrew in the Williams, 210 points, 3rd place. And then 50 points ahead of him, Real on 261 points in the Mercedes. And then championship leader in the Williams, Sebastian, on 287 points. He could reach 300 by the end of today. Full-time drivers are outside the top 10 currently, are Ibo in 12th place, Ultimate Mr. Puro in 15th place, and then, yeah, I think that's it. So Verdugo's on a warm-up lap here. He's not on a hot lap, but he has done his out lap already. I think Big Bruce is retired from the session, because oh yeah. No driver yet to set a lap time, but although there we see Andrew having a messy exit there. One where we saw Mick Schumacher a few years ago. What's happened to Skid Solo, who's had a problem at the final corner, turn 27. We're getting past him now. That is the Haas, which I think is Verdugo, and that's the Ferrari of Enzo. He recently got a win, his only one of the season so far. Majority of other races have been run by our championship leader, Sebastian. I think he's got 8 wins this season so far. Narrowly avoiding the 80 speedball there. And he's going to have to replace his front wing and box back into the garage. Okay, so Race just coming out the final corner now. A driver who was very quick out last time in Jeddah, not Jeddah, Qatar. He goes up into second, not a surprise there. Only 3/10 off the current pole time, so that's a great effort from him. And Andrew has set a lap time over a second slower than him, so he could definitely be a contender for the front row here if this continues. Let's go back on board. Sebastian, who I think is going to do another hot lap now. Oh no, he's going to come back into the pit lane, I think. Okay, let's go on board with driver and who's doing on his debut this weekend is Chuck Norris in the Alpine. No full-time drivers for Alpine at the moment. As a result, I think they're last in the championship. Or tied with Sauber, maybe. Yeah, they're definitely not in the top 8. Let's go on board with the reserve driver down towards turn 1. Avoids the inside apex there into turn 2. Let's see if that costs him any time. Section that we just passed now, it's all about the driver. It's very easy to spin there. And now coming out of the banked corner, which I think is turn 10. I think we're now in sector 2. Early turn in there. But avoids the inside wall. And this is the second DRS zone, third DRS zone, coming up very shortly though. They're slightly wide there, probably much wider than you would have wanted to. That definitely didn't cost him too much time. Yellow flag out for a Red Bull, I think, yeah. Oh no, actually it's the RB. Oh, okay. So Diego's actually been disqualified from the session for facing the wrong way. So he probably had a spin. He's now facing the wrong way. So he'll be starting 13th. That's going to promote Big Bruiser up to 12th for the start of the race. Chuck Norris sets a lap time of 1:30.9. Only a 10th behind, or under a 10th actually, behind Verdugo, who's in 6th, so quite close there. Andrew just ahead in 5th place. A driver who's usually in contention for the front 2 rows, but is just outside that at the moment. That's Darell, who's very, very close to getting past that 1:30 boundary. 3 drivers only so far to get into the 1:29s, but I'm sure that will change. Darell's only 4 thousandths away from making it in as well. Andrew's not too far, is only 5 tenths away from that as well. For the skid solo now, who had a moment. Oh, he's gone a bit wide there. Avoids the wall. Wheels Terravillo second in the championship. Crucial lap for him. 9 minutes to go. It'd be good for him to get a nice clean lap in early on in the session. Definitely something you would want to do if you're in championship contention in the penultimate round of the season. Clean lap so far. Onto the 3rd DRS zone. He's got a nice tow behind from, I think that's Ibo. Could be skid solo though. Gets slightly in the way there, he might be happy about that. Once again, the tow really helping there. He goes up only to 4th fastest, so Enzo's now in 2nd with the 1:28.9. Race Chase has got a 1:29.1. And then we have Wheels Terravillo with a 1:29.2. Very, very close there. Between the top 4. And then nearly a second between Wheels Terravillo and Darell there. So yeah. I'd be quite surprised if anyone changes if anyone gets into that top 4 now, as there's nearly a second between 5th and 4th place now. But let's see. Maybe Darell didn't set the quickest of laps. He's on another hot lap now, with 7 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Late braking into turn 27. Okay, he improves, but he's still only 3/10 behind, so maybe a front row is up for grabs, possibly. He does need to make up a few tenths though to do that. Top 4 haven't changed in the last minute, so that's because they were on cool down laps or in the pit lane and out laps. The Simples has got ahead of his teammate now with a 1:30.4. Oh, and Andrew's now improved a much more representative lap time with a 1:29.6. Yeah, so all 6 of those drivers very close together, and then a bit of a gap back down to Simple, Roduco, Chuck Norris, who is only 1/10 away from being in 8th place, and then not a particularly good showing for McLaren at the moment, with Ibo in 10th with a 1:32.9. Skitero not setting a representative lap time yet. Big Breezer retired from the session, and then Diego got disqualified from the session for facing the wrong way around. I didn't go aboard with him. Yeah. So who'll be starting 13th? Other full-time driver for RB. Sorry, JP is not competing today. I think he is in the top 10 of the championship though. I think he's 9th place. Didn't actually realise this till now. I was actually in a hot lap. Doesn't have much ERS left. But let's see if this makes him improve that 1:32.9. As we see 5.5 minutes to go. So majority of drivers now will be in the pit lane, just waiting to leave the pit lane to start their final flying laps. ERS has run out for him, so he'll be quite slow down this straight. I imagine he used a lot of ERS in the opening sectors of the lap, so that's not going to make him lose too much time. Comes across the line, doesn't improve in that 1:32.9. It's Serlo, his teammates come back into the pit lane. Okay, I think Race Chase is on the flying lap. Yeah, hot lap for Race Chase. Can he improve on that 1:29.1? He's not too far off from being on pole here. I don't think we've seen Race Chase on pole this season. He has improved in the last few rounds. I think he was on track for a podium. I don't think he got a podium in the end in Qatar. He was very close. Definitely in the top 5. Yeah, so he's improved that lap time by a few tenths now, so it's a 1:28.9. And that is under a tenth away from Sebastian, the current championship leader. As I say that, Enzo has got ahead of Sebastian with a 1:28.8. Darell now in an out lap. Only other drivers on track are Race Chase, who's on a cooldown lap, and there's a McLaren of Ivo on the track as well, coming out the final corner now. Heading down towards turn 27. And he's now starting top lap with 3 minutes to go. The Haas drivers have both left the pit lane, they're both in their out laps now. So Darell's going to catch up to them. down towards turn 1. I think leaves you there. Very important not to get trigger happy on the exit there. That can lead to a spin. Turning into that corner at exactly the right time can make a huge difference there. We're not at turn 4 anymore, we're now at turn 10 already. Very quick section of the track. This used to be a DRS zone on the F1 game, but it's not anymore. It's been replaced by the DRS zone that's coming up in a few seconds time. Got a few corners to go before that. Now coming out turn 17 and 18, and now the few flat out corners down to the braking zone of turn 22, which is actually not a very heavy braking zone. You can go very quick through here. Or not to take too much curb there, coming out of turn 23, that can lead a spin to a very tight section of track. Now into turn 27. Goes close to the outside wall but avoids it. Now the run, the timing line. He goes quickest with a 128.8, just ahead of Enzo. So Sebastian, simples out the session. Has he had a moment in turn 4? Has he hit the inside wall? I've seen lots of drivers damage their front suspension or lose their front left wheel by just clobbering that inside wall. Very tempting to turn in too much into that corner. We've got 1 minute to go here. How is the order going to change in this next minute? Drivers are probably going to be in their quickest laps of the session now, so anything can change. Andrew's going to make the timeline start his flying lap. Race Chase is pitted, so he's not going to improve on that 4th place. So maybe he didn't improve as much as he wanted to, but he won't be starting higher than 4th. Let's see if any driver gets ahead of him. 2nd place in the championship, Real Staravillo on a hot lap now. Little deep into turn 1 and 2, that could compromise him. Now out of turn 3. Now down towards turn 4 where we saw a simple DNF. Getting so close to the wall there. Turn 5. Flat out turn 6, turn 7. The line through there is very important. Don't take too much outside curve there. Through turn 10 and 11. And now down towards turn 13. Takes such a tight line through there. Touches both the inside wall and the outside wall. So you get Race Chase and Skid Solo both in the pit lane. But we're going to see the Alpine of Chuck Norris, reserve driver, who has sadly got his lap time invalidated, will not be improving on that P9 at the moment. But I don't think Ibo is going to improve on his P10 at the moment. He's set a lap time of 1:32.9. So Enzo goes to the top. Sebastian on the hot lap now, championship leader. Heading down towards turn 22 now. Very committed braking there. At the fastest middle sector. Driver currently in 4th place. His championship rivals ahead of him in 2nd. Darell's now dropped to 3rd, but he's also on a flying lap. A much more exciting qualifying session compared to the previous 2. Comes to the timing line. It's pole with a 128.3. Can Darell respond to that? Coming out the final corner now. Enzo in 2nd. Real Staravillo currently 3rd. Is that going to change? He goes up to 3rd, so he's ahead of Real Staravillo now. So front row locked out by Sebastian and Enzo, the 2 most recent race winners. And then it's going to be Real Staravillo and Darell. So Darell starting ahead of Real Staravillo on row 2. Race Chase didn't set a lap time at the end there, and is going to be starting 5th as a result. Andrew set a lap time very close to Race Chase, is going to be starting 6th. All Haas row 4, and then Chuck Norris reserve driver for Alpine today, starting 9th. alongside Iber from McLaren, Skid Solo, Big Bruiser, and Diego starting outside the top 10. A few minutes for drivers to select their setups, fuel loads, and most importantly, strategy. The walls are very close in Jeddah, so safety cars are more likely than ever here. And this is the last street track of the season. We go to Abu Dhabi next week for the final round of the season, which is also a sprint weekend. So, championship definitely not over mathematically for Real Trevor and Sebastian, who are going to battle it out. It could obviously be decided this weekend if Sebastian gets a very high points haul and Real Trevor DNFs or something. There are only 13 drivers competing today, so all the drivers need to do is stay out on track until the end of the race, and they will get some sort of points haul as a result. Okay, drivers underway for the formation lap now. Sebastian leading the way from Enzo, Darell and Real Cervilla on row 2. Race Chase, Andrew in row 3. All 6 of those drivers, I think, are in the top 6 of the championship. Unless Skid Solo is ahead of one of them. Yeah, I think. Oh no, actually, I think Skid Solo is 7th, and then Simple's 8th. So top 8 competing today. And I think Sorry JP, who's 9th in the championship, is not competing. Wow, and they're going very wide there. Warming up the tyres. The drivers on the way for the formation lap. Gap between Sebastian and Real Cervilla in the championship is about 30 points. So there's definitely a lot to offer here. In this feature race only round, there is a sprint and feature race coming up next week in the finale at Abu Dhabi. Okay, pole sitter coming around the final corner now. Very close to getting racing action underway. 50 lap feature, not 50 lap, that's 100% distance. So 25 lap feature race at Jeddah. And 13 drivers competing. Let's go on board with Diego, who's starting the race in 13th position. Let's go on board with him. Okay. Let's go on board. We're green, we're going. It's Sebastian with a very good start. Ahead of Enzo down towards turn 1. Darell's actually looking to go around the outside of Enzo there. Very good start from him. Up into 2nd. Enzo down in 3rd. And nearly a spin there for the driver 2nd in the championship, who's dropped down to 6th. Some fighting there. And then, yeah, Real Cervilla going wide again. And we've got Andrew ahead of Real Cervilla, who's got Chuck Norris. Behind him, Veriduco's out. Something's happened to Veriduco. Strange. So he might have collided with Big Bruiser there. He's parked to the side, so maybe it's a connection issue. So Veriduco, yeah, I don't know. And Sebastian leading the way from Enzo, from Darell, from Race Chase, from Andrew, from Real Cervilla, Chuck Norris, Diego, Simple, Skid Solo, Ibo, and Big Bruiser. Let's look at the positions gained and lost. Let's enable all the other stuff. Okay. Top 3's actually remained the same, so Enzo's got back ahead of Darell. And Enzo is now looking to go back up into the lead. Okay. We've got a virtual safety car. Just as Enzo was thinking of overtaking the other driver there. Virtual safety should be ending in 30 seconds. The field is very close together, so expect some overtaking that's going to get done towards the end of lap 2 once this virtual safety car ends. Very long virtual safety car this. As you see, Big Bruiser, he's come to the pit lane. And he's now left the pit lane. I wonder if it was full damage or underbody damage for Veriduka which caused him to retire from the race, as it was probably pointless to continue. Also rear wing damage. Rear wing damage causes you to slow down a lot. I've experienced that in the Mbrl Racing League. Not very nice, especially at a street track. Especially at Singapore. We're now coming out the final corner, end of lap 2. It's Sebastian ahead of Enzo, ahead of Darell, ahead of Race Chase. All of these drivers going to get DRS because the field is so close together. Not Real Charavilla though, who made a mistake on the opening lap and has dropped away from the Williams driver behind him. It's not the Williams who he's fighting for in the championship. Although Andrew is actually quite close to him in third. Down into turn 4, turn 5. Easy to make a mistake here. We saw Simple have a moment here in qualifying. And then we have Darell, Race Chase, Andrew, Rios Charavillo. Chuck Norris having a very decent start there. He's up into 7th, kept it clean in the Alpine. Alpine have not scored many points this season. I'm not sure if it contributes to the team standings tally. There's been a yellow flag again, that's a Big Bruiser. Apparently Veriduka got a very big hit into the first turn, which caused him to retire. For the Simple there, he's just outside of DRS range from Diego, who started last but has made his way up into 8th place. There's been a change for lead, I've missed that. They're side by side now still. Enzo ahead of Sebastian. But we've got Darell and Race Chase right behind. All 4 of these drivers in the battle for the lead. Sebastian's so close behind. Let's go on board with him. But Enzo with the inside line. He's going to go for a move down the inside. Little bit of contact there, but no damage so far. Dips the inside wall there. There's going to be enough room. There's a bit of contact. Front wheel, rear wheel. Contact there between the two, and things are getting very close between the top 2 in this race. Not on the championship though. Enzo is out of the championship fight. He's got nothing to lose. Quite clearly you can see that. Caution sector 2. That is because Big Bruiser in 12th place has come to trouble. Enzo once again very close behind. He has the luxury of 2 DRS zones coming up after this one, so 3 DRS zones in a row. He's probably going to back off until the final one. And these are the mind games that are going to be played for the entire race between these two, or possibly even the drivers behind, because Darell is only 4 tenths behind, and Race Chase is only 5 tenths behind Darell. Twitch exit there by the current leader. And is Enzo going to make a move for the lead? He is. He's up into the front. Enzo getting up into 1st place. Sebastian into 2nd. Bricks later. Makes the apex, and that's Diego ahead of Chuck Norris. Inside line for him. Brakes late. Can Chuck Norris respond to that? Gonna have a better exit. That's Andrew just ahead. Oh, there's been a change for lead again. Enzo getting ahead of Sebastian. Sebastian probably trying to go for the inside line there into turn 4. Didn't work out. Top 4 though, still all within DRS range of each other. And then there is a 3-second gap to Race Chase. Sorry, not to Race Chase. Andrew. Oh, there's been a change for lead again. Enzo once again ahead of Sebastian. Don't want to miss few changes for the lead. Goes wide. Interesting, going to do the same thing that Enzo did in on lap 4. Two drivers behind these two, closing up very quickly. We'll have Darell ahead of Andrew then, so that's a crucial move for the championship. Up into 5th place now. Sebastian, okay, so he's gone for the move for the lead early. It's Enzo. Gonna do a repeat of what he did a lap ago. And now it's Diego ahead of Andrew momentarily, but let's go back up to the battle for the lead. Enzo with the inside line, down towards the first corner. Later braking. Is Sebastian gonna have the better exit coming out of turn 2. Be the second time he's done this. Are they gonna give him room? Later braking. Ooh, is the front wing lost there for the Ferrari driver? He's currently in the lead. There was a big touch with the wall there. He's gone wide, nearly looping around there, and he's so close to the back of him now. I think he does have damage. Possible move down the inside here. I think he's actually avoided damage. Side by side. Are they going to give each other room? Yes, they are, and it's Enzo, who is just about keeping Sebastian behind him. So he's avoided damage, I think, but it was quite a hefty touch with the wall there. All this is doing is allowing Darell in race chase. Yellow flag, is that for Diego? There's been a change for the lead. It's Diego who's lost his front wing. Ooh. We've got a safety car here in Jeddah because there's been a massive crash between Diego and Skid Solo. That was quite a scary one. Massive contact there, and that's caused Skid Solo to be out the race. Through no fault of his own, really. Unsafe rejoin there for Diego, who has got a penalty as a result of that. Front wing fully gone. All the top 8 are pitting, apart from Simple, who stayed out. Let's go to the tyre components now. We don't need to see the position changes, because that's going to be mixed up a lot after the safety car. Okay, tyres. Simple is on 6 lap old tyres. He's the only driver on 6 lap old hard tyres. 5 drivers behind him are on new hard tyres, and then we have Diego, who stayed out on set of mediums. However, he is going to come back into the pit lane. Actually, I think he stayed out. Diego, who is front wingless, is going to try and defend his 7th position without front wing on the safety car restart. Let's see how successful that is. And that collision with Skid Solo is definitely going to go to the steward's room. So we've got a safety car here in Jeddah for those who've just joined. And it is Simple, who is not the net race leader, but will be the leader on the safety car restart. Let's see for how long though. I don't imagine for very long, because he is now on 7 lap old hard tyres, whereas everyone else is on a new set of tyres. And Diego finally comes to the pit lane. quite surprised that he didn't come into the pit lane a lap before he had the option to do that. He's been putting up with no front wing for 2 laps now. That's Diego leaving the pit lane. All drivers apart from Diego, Ibo and Big Bruiser in 11th place. They are in the safety car queue, which I imagine is going to come in at the end of this lap because it came out on lap 6. And it's going to be Simple leading the way. Let's actually take a look at the team standings because we haven't looked at that yet. So after Qatar, it is Williams who are in the lead. They've been in the lead all season. With nearly 500 points now, I could definitely see them getting into 500 points by the end of this round. And Mercedes are on 314 points. They've only got 1 driver competing this weekend, so Delbusta's not competing. And they've got quite a comfortable lead to Aston Martin behind them, but things get very close between Haas, McLaren, Ferrari and Red Bull. Yep. So that is battle for 3rd place all the way down to 7th. All of those positions could change by the end of the season, despite there only being 2 rounds left to go. So with Verduca and Skid Solo doing nothing, Haas and McLaren could definitely lose positions in the team's championship by the end of this round. After them there's RB, Alpine and Sauber. They're yet to reach triple digits, sadly. Oh, interesting, so safety goes out for another lap. It's definitely coming in at the end of this lap though. We're going to get 60 more laps of racing action, presuming that there's not another safety car. They're quite common in Jeddah. But yeah, pretty much all the drivers now on hard tyres. They're heading out of turn 13 now. That is one of 2 bank corners at the circuit. Actually, there's probably more. The 2 obvious bank corners of the circuit. And then this is the other one. Turn 16, I think. No, turn 17. There's actually 2 corners, turn 17 and 18. Now heading through turn 19, 20, 21. And then finally, after a large number of flat out corners, you head into turn 22, which is not too much of a heavy braking zone, but definitely a place where a brave overtake can be made. There are better overtaking opportunities around the track though. Mainly the final corner and the first corner, which we are approaching right now, as Simple is going to lead this safety car restart. Coming out the final corner, on board with the Haas. Where does he go? It's a long straight, I wouldn't go too early. He goes now. Okay. It's Sebastian, as expected, very close behind, and Enzo's in the fight as well. Diego ahead of Chuck Norris down towards turn 1. He doesn't make the corner and locks up. Sets Sebastian into the lead. Enzo in second, Darell in third. Simple losing so many positions there. Maybe staying out was not the best strategy. Got Diego and the Alpine he's fighting with. Oh, the Alpine goes wide, but that's Chuck Norris into 7th now. Diego's right in the back of Simple. I didn't actually see how large that time penalty was, but I would imagine it would be quite big because that was a nasty collision and not a very safe rejoin. There's your big bruiser. Now nearly a second away from Ibo, who's the driver ahead of him, and Ibo's got over a second to the car in front. That's Diego in 9th, who's in DRS, is in the DRS range of Simple. There's obviously no DRS. I should be going to back to this battle for the lead though, as we've got Enzo 2/10 behind Sebastian. We've seen this so many times now. Sebastian behind, Sebastian waiting for that final DRS zone. Now coming out the final corner, all three of these drivers behind Sebastian are going to get DRS. Not here, but in the next DRS zone. Despite that, it's Enzo getting ahead of Sebastian. Brakes late, makes the corner, but we've seen Sebastian having so much better exits here. He had to back out though a little bit, so that's gonna compromise him slightly, but he's right behind the Ferrari still. Yeah, Enzo's really struggling there. That's Darell. He's ahead of Race Chase, he's ahead of Ruth Taravillo. So he got stuck behind Andrew on the opening lap of the race, and that caused him to be outside of this DRS train for the lead. That's not the case now. He's in 5th place and has got DRS. Starting from here, it's now a 5-way train for the leads, with the 2 championship contenders all in the heart of this battle. We see Sebastian in 2nd, Ruth Taravillo just waiting for any mistake to be made. Oh, Darell, is he going to go for the lead here? He came out of nowhere. Outside line. Crash! Oh, mayhem. Race Chase out. Chuck Norris, Darell, Diego, Simple, virtual safety car. Oh, he's stuck. Enzo's out. Big news, Real Taravillo has been disqualified. That is such a shame. Driving standards not the best this weekend. And we've only got 8 drivers left in this race now. Enzo, Race Chase and Real Taravillo are all DNFing from the race at this point. So it was Darell and Enzo who were initially involved in that collision. And that is very big news in terms of the championship. Real Taravillo was having such a positive race and then got caught up in a pile-up ahead of him. That caused him and Race Chase to DNF. So has Darell got damage to his front wing? Despite all of that, yeah, so Darell was in the walls there for quite a long time. We've got a virtual safety car, and because that was straight after the safety car restart, all these drivers are so close, and then yeah, so Sebastian. We've got Ivor in second place now, so possibly a career best finish in the Mbrl Racing League for Ivo. So that's a massive turn of events for him. He's got ahead of Darell, so Ivo managed to avoid all the chaos. Then we have Andrew in fourth, Chuck Norris in fifth. Front wing still intact for him, reserve driver for Alpine. Only 8 drivers left in this race. Simple. At the race now. So he probably has some kind of floor damage or rear wing damage that would annoy you so much that you wouldn't want to continue. Very long virtual safety car, but it will be Sebastian leading the way. Okay, so it shows virtual safety car on the screen, but we actually have a safety car here, so second safety car, it'll be Sebastian leading the restart. Quite confused why all the field was so bunched up, despite people pitting. We might have another lap under the safety car. Just as I said that, we're getting racing action underway. So, is Sebastian going to follow the same thing as Simple did? 7 drivers remaining. We have lost nearly half the field, sadly. Or over half. No, actually still under half the field. Sebastian leading the way. Ivo in the McLaren right behind him. He gets underway right now. It's Ivo ahead. Now no longer ahead of Darell, so Ivo's dropped to third. Darell down the inside. Ivo inside, he goes wide. Chuck Norris and Big Bruiser now fighting with Ivo. Can Big Bruiser get ahead of Ivo? And we've got Diego going down the inside. Just about doesn't make it, and it's Big Bruiser up into fifth. Oh, Diego and Big Bruiser fighting. Side by side. But it's Diego who gets ahead of Big Bruiser and up into 5th place. Up into the top 5 despite that crash. He's got a penalty, so does Big Bruiser. Ivo down in 7th after taking this restart in 2nd. Back in sector 2. What's happened to Big Bruiser? He's had a spin into the wall. He's lost his front wing completely. We've got 11 laps of this race to go now. Sebastian with a 1 second lead over Darell. I imagine after that crash with Enzo he has some kind of damage to the maybe to the floor, which is causing him to lose time. Now 1.2 second gap, so he's going to be out of DRS range when DRS gets enabled. That's now. Obviously no DRS down this straight, but on the next one. Andrew in third. Just 2 seconds behind him. Then we have Chuck Norris, who is in DRS range of Andrew. He's He's pushing very hard on those medium tyres. They are newer medium tyres. Little touch of the inside wall there. This is a very good performance by the reserve driver today, staying out of trouble. We were on board with him when he went through that mayhem, chaos. He somehow managed to make his way through, despite that track pretty much being blocked. And now he found himself in 4th place. And he's got DRS over the driver ahead. I imagine Andrew's got damage. Not to the front wing, to the floor. Or to the side pod. Oh, he's got the hot lap mode on, so yeah, he's very keen to get past. Up into 3rd place, little touch of the outside wall. Got a little bit excited there on the brakes. And Andrew, just as the teammate sets the fastest lap of the race, Andrew's looking to get back past Chuck Norris. Darell there in 2nd. Turn 4, now on lap 16 of 25, with Chuck Norris, who seemed to be quicker in this latter half of the first sector. See Andrew. Yeah, I reckon it's some underbody or side pod damage there, because you would really be vulnerable with that. In that very tricky section of the track, full of high speed corners. Little luck up there. And that will allow Chuck Norris to once again attack Andrew. This is the battle for the final place in the podium. Jake is going to try and catch up to the back of Chuck Norris. You see Ivor there in 6th. Big Bruiser in 7th. Grafton with a 2.3 second lead. Chuck Norris gets ahead of Andrew. Andrew with a tight line there. He will have DRS. Is it going to be enough though, down towards turn 1? He's closing. He's running out of time. It's actually Chuck Norris who moved a little bit on the braking there. That could be investigated. But no collision there. So, battle for the final place in the podium rages on. Let's look further back. Diego, 2.5 seconds behind that battle in the RB. Then we have Ivo and Big Bruiser who are on track to get their best result of the season, taking advantage of all those DNFs. Then we have Sebastian. He's going back and forth with the leader of the race, Sebastian. 2.6 seconds now between him and Darell, who I imagine has damage. And then Chuck Norris in 3rd, Andrew in 4th, with DRS again. Through turn 22, he goes wide into turn 22, so that could... Okay, he's actually gained some time there, so that could... Yeah, so he could have a track limits warning there, because he has managed to extend that gap between him and Andrew. Going off track though. He's going to have DRS. Is he once again too far back? It's closing on him again. I think he'll have to wait another time round. Down into turn 1. Oh, mistake there. That allows Andrew to get past Chuck Norris. So Chuck Norris goes a little bit wide there. He's got Andrew in 3rd now. This battle for 3rd. Nowhere near over though. We got 8 laps to go. He's still going to get DRS if he stays within 1 second. Kind of heading out of turn 17. which is the next DRS zone coming up shortly. And this battling is causing Diego to close that gap quite quickly. There's now 2 seconds between him and Chuck Norris. Well, Andrew now with a little mistake coming out that corner. So DRS open. Is Chuck Norris going to get past him? Probably not into turn 22, but definitely down into turn 27. Or even turn 1. DRS open again. He is so close to the back of him now. Easy move for the lead. Sebastian with the fastest lap now with a 1:31.2. As the fuel load goes down. And it's going to be Andrew with DRS. Quite close this time round. Is it going to be enough though? Down into turn 1. Not quite. Gap is now 0.8 seconds between him and Chuck Norris. Let's go on board with the top 2. Darell 4.3 seconds. Oh, so Chuck Norris has got a penalty for track limits now. So, yeah, so one of those warnings was definitely on the entry to turn 23 after going wide at turn 22. But he's got a penalty. Gap now over a second, so Andrew, interestingly, will not have DRS. Diego, I imagine after that collision with Skid Solo is nursing that car home too, but he is closing that gap to Andrew. So clearly doesn't have as much damage as him. Bruiser there in 7th. Ivo in 6th. You'll touch the wall there. Very easy to lose your front left end plate there. Diego now 2.5 seconds behind. So this battle for 3rd, the final place in the podium, could be turning into a 3-way battle. Let's take a look at penalties. So 3-second penalty for Chuck Norris, 6-second penalty for Diego. So I think he might be out of the fight for the podium. He goes a little bit wide. So Andrew losing more time there. Gap now 2.4 between him and Diego. There you see. Pretty much all the drivers, apart from Sebastian, who has, Andrew clearly has some damage and he's really struggling through this first sector full of high speed corners. You do require a lift off and a heavy turn in. And he nearly lost the car there twice. So now gap is equal gaps between Chuck Norris, Andrew and Diego now. Let's go back to tyres. Okay. So I imagine no one's going to pit. We've only got 5 laps to go after this lap. There you see Diego. He can see the Williams ahead of him. The driver who's really struggling, which I imagine has either side pod or floor damage. Whatever it is causing him to really struggle in that first sector. Coming out the final corner now. Under 1.5 seconds now. Gap is still relatively close between Andrew and Chuck Norris. But even closer between Andrew and Diego. Let's go back on board with the current leader. He's been in the lead for majority of the laps of this race. Even tracked to get his 9th win of the season. He's now pulled a 6.6 second gap between him and Darell, who's in 2nd place. Could have damage after that collision with Enzo, who is now DNF'd. There we see Chuck Norris ahead of Andrew, ahead of Diego. 1.2 seconds, he is closing very quickly. Is he going to be within DRS range? as we head on to lap 22. They're getting another penalty. On board is Diego. I think Chuck Norris has made a mistake again, as Andrew is quite close to the back of Chuck Norris. Yeah, Diego now 1.3 seconds behind, so I think they both have damage. And it's, Chuck Norris has now pulled a 1.8 second gap. Still very unclear though how this order is going to end up by the end of lap 25. Anything can happen in these next 3.5 laps. Not long to go now. As we see Big Bruiser hit the wall there. Oh, iPhone narrowly missing out on a race-ending incident there. Still a 6th place for him. That would be his best finish of the season so far. Same goes with Big Bruiser, who's in 7th. And then we have Diego, who's now 1.2 seconds behind, now 1.3. I think he's going to just miss out on DRS this time round again. He's running out of time. But I think it is going to be Andrew. Well, what's happened is Chuck Norris has made Chuck Norris has made a mistake, so he's now down in 5th. Front wing lost for him. And Chuck Norris is out. It's Andrew up into 3rd. Diego in 4th. But Andrew, unlike Diego, has got no penalties, so unless Diego is ahead of him and pulls a very large gap, it'll be Andrew who's going to take that final place in the podium. Although it is Andrew who's picked up a 3-second penalty now for track limits. He was just outside the white line there. Oh, Big Bruiser's out the race. We've only got 5 drivers left now. That's such a shame because he would have got a very large point haul there, but he has not finished, so he is 5 laps from the end though, it might count. So Diego, is he going to go for a move down the inside here? Into turn 22, that would be very brave. Of course he lifts off. But he's going to have DRS again. Into turn 27. Andrew taking an unusual line there to break the toe. He goes wide. But he's going to have DRS again, coming out the final corner. He's closing very quickly. He's going to go for a move down the inside. No, he's going to wait till lap 25. Messes it up quite a bit on the brakes there. A little lock up there. Oh, it's still going wide. So now it's 1.5 seconds. That gap might be enough though for Andrew to defend his position. So I think it is enough to call it now. So Andrew's definitely gonna get that a 3rd place, and it's gonna be a 1 second gap on track. All could change. Whoever finishes 3rd on track. He's gonna get DRS again. I think now, yeah, he is gonna get DRS down this middle sector of the circuit. Yeah, so Andrew really struggling there with damage. He goes wide, uses a lot of curb there. Gap is now 0.7 seconds. DRS again. for the RB driver. 0.7 seconds now. Something's happened to Sebastian. I completely missed that, and it's Darell ahead of Sebastian. So that's a change for the lead, so Darell is now ahead of Sebastian, who is down to second place. Two very close battles here. Darell has made his way up into the lead on the final lap of the race. I don't know what happened to Sebastian, he might have made a mistake. There's a yellow flag in sector 2, that's for Ibo. Wide moment there for Andrew. Diego's really closing in on the Williams now. Is he going to go for a move down the inside? He isn't. Has Andrew got damage? Yeah, he's lost his front left end plate, and that has cost him time. I missed that. So Darell is up into the lead with a 1.1 second gap now. Diego is so close to the back of Andrew now. Is he going to get past the Williams? He's running out of time to do it. He's going to wait to the final corner. And I think he's going to get past now. As you see Darell come out the final corner to take the race win. He gets past. It's Darell who wins in Saudi Arabia, and it's Sebastian who had wing damage at the very end there. He's finishing in second. He does not get his ninth win of the season. It's Diego with a penalty. He'll finish third in the road, but he won't finish third overall, as he's got a 6-second penalty, whereas Andrew, right behind him, has only got a 3-second penalty. So Andrew finishes third, both Williams drivers on the podium once again, but no win for them this time. It's the Aston Martin of Darell, who I think picks up his 2nd win of the season. Could be a 3rd. And then we have Ibo, who is heading round turn 13 now. Yeah, only 5 drivers finishing the race. And he is on track for his best result of the season, staying out of trouble. Fitted for a new set of soft tyres, by the looks of things. I think Andrew also had wing damage. Yeah, so he lost his front left end plate, as did Sebastian. Oh, actually, no. I think Darell must have had better tyres towards the end, because neither of them have damage. So it is Darell who takes his 2nd win of the season. Here in round 18. Podium celebrations there, and let's look at the full race result. Darell taking the win there with 25 points. It is 25 points for the winner in Mbrl Racing League. Sebastian, who'll be taking 20 points. That's the driver in 2nd place after this round. Andrew also on the podium in 3rd. Diego and Ibo, the only other finishers. Chuck Norris, Big Bruiser, Sinful, Enzo, Raiche, Skid Solo, Verdugo, and Real Cervillo, all not able to finish the race, and a very disappointing result for all of them, as they'll all be scoring 0, sadly. that is it for round 18. We'll be back in a week's time for round 19, the final race of the season, and it will be a sprint weekend.